Hello everyone, Ralph again here for another episode in What's in My Kitchen. Now, if you've been watching previous episodes, we've gone through different ingredients and different measures of making muffins and styles and techniques. But today we're going to make a first time one-off, and we're going to try scones, but with a difference, and I haven't done this before. We're going to use some shredded coconut. It's already open, but you see that's the packet. Shredded coconut. We've got our flour already in our machine, and I'm going to use your normal 3 standard ingredients for scones, which is your flour, which is your butter, and your milk. So I've just got my coconut cream, which is the hardened solidified type cream. I've melted some butter, and now there's no mention of volumes of ingredients because we're working towards a consistency, not a volume or a particular recipe. So all I'm doing is I'm scraping the oil, the coconut fat, and I'm going to add it to my melted butter, hopefully. Now remember, I said to you earlier at the beginning, I haven't done this before, so we're going to be experimenting with this, but I expect this to have a coconut flavour on the finished product. Now as you can see, the fat is melting and emulsifying with the butter. Now we're going to use some of that as well, that butter, and grease our tin. I'm hoping that by adding a little bit of extra butter and coconut, it should give me a more fluffy result on the scones. Now probably just a little bit more. Maybe I shouldn't be using the same spoon, but what the heck, we're only doing this once, right? Unless of course it works, and then I might have to record the recipe and actually create one so others can follow it and try it at home, but you never know, right? Okay, so here we go. Now we have our Kenwood chef. We're using a dough hook because we are using making this into a dough type consistency. A little bit of baking powder will allow the scones to rise a little bit extra and result in a nice fluffy texture. Now you might have to put your ears on, earmuffs I should say, and I'll just start this off. And we've been mixing this so we have an actual ball basically coming out of this, and that's why we use a dough hook. So the best thing to do with scones, I use a nice clean bench, which I've just cleaned. We spread with a bit of flour. I'm using plain. We get our dough ball there. Bit of flour on top. Kind of looks like a bit of a brain now, doesn't it? Let's see what brains we have when we do this. Now I can already feel that the coconut is causing the texture not to be as smooth as normal. So I think this is roughly about 2 centimeters thick. So I like my scones fluffy and tall, and the way we cut them and the way I do it, this is a 7-ounce, typical 7-ounce pub glass, and this is all I do. Dip it in, shake the flour around in it, right on the edge. The pressure pops it straight back out, the air pressure. And here we go. Nice and simple. We're not going to have a lot out of this. It wasn't designed to have a lot. It's experimental. Okay, so what I've done is I've been able to cut all my scones apart now into little round circles. I didn't put all the butter in at the beginning into the mixture, so now I'm adding a bit of butter mixed with the coconut, and I'm just brushing the top, and hopefully that will give us a little bit of a brown finish of it. That's just my viewpoint. Okay, so here we are, they're all brushed. Now once you get the hang of it, it should take you start to finish half an hour, including cleaning up. So let's see how we're going. We're a little bit slower today because I'm talking. It's now going into the oven. The oven isn't quite at 180, I've just noticed, so we have to allow probably 5 more minutes at the end. So there we go. We'll come back in a couple more minutes and have a look. Okay, so we're into it about 10 minutes or so. They're in the oven, and as you can see, they're already starting to rise. And the oven says 15 minutes at 180. We're probably going to allow an extra 5 minutes. We'll come back in a minute. Okay, now it's been 20 minutes. I expect the scones to be ready now. We're opening them up, and they're not as brown as normal, but the time should be right. So let's have a look. I'm going to grab one scone. Knife. Nice and light. Yes, perfectly cooked. So we're going to have that now and try it. We'll come back to you in just a moment and we'll sample it. Scones are nice and taste really good with whipped cream, and I'm using black cherry jam today. So very shortly we'll come back and we'll see what these scones are like. So every good scone needs jam and cream. So let me have a look. I'll get my trusty assistant to sample it in just a minute as well. But meantime, let's have a look. Now I know what you're thinking. He's just going to say it's awesome. It's great. But let me tell you after I taste it. Actually it's surprisingly good. Better than I expected. Underlying coconut flavour, overwhelming cream and jam taste, nice and fluffy. I think it's a success as far as I'm concerned, but my trusty assistant will give you a sample and will give her opinion. So Joanne's been helping me with the camera and overseeing my activities, and I've just asked Joanne to sample the scone that I've just prepared. So have a look and tell me what you think.
Let's see how it is.
Yeah. What's the verdict so far? Or
It's a nice scone.
nice and fluffy? Coconut undertones? Bit woody,
There is something there.
fruity, creamy.
Creamy, yes.
So overall, thumbs up?
Thumbs up.
Very good. So everybody, these are the scones that we've made in about half an hour, start to finish, and it looks like they're a success. So those who are interested, let me know and I'll give you the recipe after I decide what it was. So we're back on the scone. This is my second one now, and every good scone needs a good cappuccino with extra head. Talk to you next time. Ready? Ready? Today we're adding the coconut, and I will also be adding another secret ingredient which was the coconut oil that I had in here before. Where the hell is it? So while the muffins are, the scones are still in the oven, I'm going to use a small glass. Where's the sip? Okay, so here we are, and